Russia. At 6.5 million square miles, it's the largest country by landmass on this planet. And in places, it's arguably the most remote. It's been long closed to visitors from the West, and hidden behind the Iron Curtain of the Soviet era, the Okhotsk mountain region remains largely untouched to this day and unexplored, certainly by those of us from the Western world. There's a Russian proverb that says, living life is not like crossing a meadow, especially when you're in the far east of Russia. There's no support, there's no home base, there's nothing to turn to when you're in trouble. You're in the mountains where the Russian snow sheep live.
Oh man,
What a piece of work you are. Back and forth across the world 100 times, eh?
well, Murphy's Law is true. Anything that can go wrong will. Currently at the Istanbul airport, and after about a day and a half of flying, we made it to Moscow, and they point out that my visa is not valid. There's a misprint at the embassy in Ottawa getting my visa, and I was kicked out of Russia. Here in Istanbul, I'm heading to Frankfurt. From Frankfurt, I'm heading to Denver. From Denver to Chicago, Chicago to Ottawa. Ottawa is where I will go into the embassy and get my visa sorted out, done proper this time, hopefully. And then from Ottawa, I start the long journey back to Russia. Landed back in Denver where I started 4 days ago. Now we're gonna start the journey to Ottawa, to the Russian embassy. Got my next flight itinerary, going to Calgary. Currently on day 5 of traveling. Just got off my flight from Calgary to Toronto. I got one more flight to catch to Ottawa. News, headed on the flight to Ottawa. The guy's gonna meet me at 9:30 p.m. tonight, and we're gonna take care of this visa once and for all. Made it to the embassy. Met up with my contact Sergey. He's got my passport right now, and he is fixing it up, so looks like all things are go. Once I get this taken care of, I'm gonna call the travel agent and get my flights booked right away and get out of here as soon as I can back to Moscow. So another couple days of traveling. But what's a couple more when you're 85 deep? All set?
Yep.
Sweet. Awesome. All right.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Hopefully it goes smoother this time.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Take care.
Take care, you too.
We got it. Back to Russia. Oh, man.
What a piece of work you are. Back and forth across the world 100 times, eh? Our chariot. It'll be carrying us into the wild Magadan blue to the Okhotsk region to start hunting for sheep. It's very possible that this is an Afghan war model Hind helicopter. Oh, it looks like that orders we're getting on board. Time to go. How you doing?
Sergey?
Nice to meet you. What is it, Sergey?
Your guide. Sergey.
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 Okay. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
We've just landed in an absolutely amazing place. Look at this. Holy. This giant helicopter has dropped us off. Middle of nowhere, in the middle of nowhere, in the Okhotsk Mountains. It reminds me of the Yukon. 30 years ago, there's not a chance we could have come into this area. This was so far behind the Iron Curtain. In the West, nobody even knew what was here. This is a huge privilege to be hunting in this place for these magnificent animals, the snow sheep. Vehicle is the only way we're getting out of here. Say goodbye to civilization. Woke up this morning at 4:30 a.m. and you couldn't see 50 yards outside. It was fog right in, almost drizzle, like you're right inside a rain cloud. But that's not my biggest worry. I did something to my knee. Over top of my kneecap, right on the top, right there is just to touch it is excruciating pain. Right now, today, I couldn't walk a hill. I couldn't climb. I don't want to say anything to the guides. When you're trapped, fogged in, weathered in, it's tiny little things that you take for granted in your outside life become things of joy that you look forward to during the day. Little moments of excitement, like hot tea. Just the small things you start to appreciate when you're trapped in a place and can't do anything except look forward to the next small thing and hope that the weather's going to break. Taken a turn for the worse. So the fog's lifted, but the black, thick clouds they're pregnant with rain. It's actually starting to drizzle now, and it'll be a downpour before the night's over, I'm sure. So it was the right decision not to try and hike to the spike camp today, because if we would have made it there, if my knee would have lasted, we'd have been soaking wet. And in little pup tents, you start the hunt in a terrible condition, so better to wait. They made the right decision to hold off today, and I can definitely use the extra day of rest on my knee. Hopefully tomorrow the weather will break and my knee won't. Look like they're breaking up, so we're on the move after 3 days of sitting here idle. It's going to be a push for the top as fast as we possibly can. I'm still a little bit concerned about my knee. I'm going to tape it up, and this is the test. I don't know if I can make it up the hill. Doing a little jungle medicine here. And that's my worst nightmare, an injury on a mountain hunt. I can't cut off the circulation, but I've got to take the pressure off that tendon. I've got the bottom stabilized with tape on the inside and try and keep it in place on the outside. I've never backed down on a mountain hunt before, mentally or physically, but I don't know about this one. So far, so good. Slow, very slow. Heading up into the clouds, getting into the sheep trails now. There's definitely sheep around, or have been. still in fog or cloud. I'm not sure where we're going. If we can cut around the backside, maybe it'll be okay, but going over the top, we won't know where we are and where we're going. So far my knee is holding out. I've got it taped up pretty tight. And I've taped it so it's semi-bent, so that makes it easier for me to climb, but it's very difficult to go downhill. We're not at the top yet, but we're getting close. Probably climbed 1,500 feet so far in elevation. In a spot that they're starting to glass, so they must think there's sheep around. They say there's a spot where there's always fresh green grass at this time of year, and there's always rams there. We can only hope the weather doesn't turn worse once we get to that side, because then we're trapped in the little pup tents. No way to get back until the weather clears. But that's the negative. The positive is the weather will break, big high pressure will come in, sun will come out, and there'll be rams dotting the hillside. There's 5 rams bedded down in the grass. A little grassy patch in the rocks. It looks to me like one is too young, two are too young for sure, and I can't tell on the other 3 yet. But they look bigger. It looks like there might be 2 that are mature rams. They look bigger. It looks like there might be 2 that are mature rams. Everything here is a lot further than it looks. So it seems like they're close, but it's a long way over there. Probably 1,200 meters, almost a mile. Sitting up here for almost 2 hours, getting pretty cold. And we've come up with a plan. They want to go after them from the bottom. They want us to come circle around, go underneath, and then try and get them from the bottom. That's tough. I don't want to second guess, but I would have gone over the top and around. It's a lot longer, a lot further, a lot more work, but these guys know their stuff. I'm new to these mountains. Go with your guide's knowledge. Every step. You have to be careful on every single step. We're thousands of miles away from help. It's an unusual stock. They want to go after these animals from the bottom. I would have gone over the top, but they know their country. To me, the wind is bad. It's right at our back now, but maybe it'll scoot by them. I don't know, but for sure we're going to be shooting up. size, this sheep. This is the final stock now. It either works or it doesn't work. The sun's coming out. That means the wind's gonna go up. It's not good. So they smelled us. It's no surprise. It's part of what the wind does. We smell. And when the wind's blowing this way from our back towards the animals, they have about 1,000 times better noses than us. So they smelled us. It's easy to look in hindsight and say we should have, we could have, but it's not hindsight when you know it ahead of time. That's not hindsight. It's called common sense at that point. The sun's come out for the first time in days, and we're hiking in the Okhotsk mountain ranges, the coastal mountain ranges in the far east of Russia. I mean, how many people get to see this? And we almost got a ram today. We should have probably been zigging instead of zagging, but we came close, and we know they're here. My knee, which I was really worried about, lasted all the way till here. That's pretty much all day hiking, but it's definitely going to be like a basketball tomorrow morning. But made it. The rocks are tough hiking. They're dishonest rocks. Every single step you have to be watching. The 5 rules really apply here. Safety, 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 and safety. You make one mistake out in this country, you can't just call 911. We're a long, long way from any help. That's part of going into the uncharted parts of this world, which we're definitely in right now. Looks like this is home sweet home tonight. That's all I can do today. My knee's starting to walk up now. Time for camp setup and then dinners. Trying to make our bed just a little bit softer. Underneath the caribou moss is rock. And it's not nice, smooth, flat river rock. So I'm trying to get an extra layer of moss just to sleep a little better tonight. Yeah, good.
Это получше, блядь, видишь, с этими хомушками.
That's my view. And right here is This is Matt's sleeping bag. So you can see there's not a lot of space in here. We're going to be good and cozy in here tonight. It's hard to find anything so serene as a sheep camp up in a high hanging valley anywhere around the world when the weather's nice. You have time to feel that fatigue. Just to get here today took a ton of energy, and you know it's good for you. The physical exertion, it's what we're meant to do. And it feels good now laying here. In the city, you can have a big fancy bed and a choice of 10 different types of pillows in a nice hotel, but you won't sleep as well as you will out here on a foam mattress. That's it. That's my mattress. You're living in the midst of nature's splendor, and you're part of it. You have time up here. You have time up here to think about the things that mean something to you, that really truly mean something. Your family, your loved ones, your friends, your community, the things you miss when you're out here, and the things they miss by not being out here.
Morning has broken.
Had a good sleep last night. Got our camp all put away, and we're headed up for the second day now of hunting. Plan is to climb up on this ridge and then keep going further and further into the wildlands.
Saying this, but if there's any positives to Jim's bum knee, it's that it slows him down a bit so that the rest of us can keep up better. He's an animal, man. He's a machine. He just goes so hard all day, every day, nonstop. The only person that I know that even comes close to having as much energy as him is my 6-year-old son, Quinn. It's like they never get tired, really. But yeah, you can definitely tell he's in pain. I mean, he's limping pretty good, and I hope it gets better because it's looking like we got a tough hunt. I mean, this terrain is not only steep, it's rocky, nasty stuff. It's like walking through a scree field all day long.
Made it back on top of the ridge now. It's a beautiful day. We've seen 6 ewes and lambs on a far ridge earlier, and I think we're getting to where he believes the rams hang out. On a personal note, my knee is still working. It's got me up this far. Makes the hunt miserable when you're wet. And we have no way to dry ourselves up here because there's no wood. You can't make a fire. It's a test of our desire. There's no limit to desire, but desire's need. So if we get wet, we get tired, we get hurt, we still keep going because our desire is to get this ram. So nothing's going to stop us. That's our desire's need. No limit. Sergey just spotted some sheep way up there. Just about the same instant we spotted them. Rain is coming. We just spotted rams. He thinks one's a good ram, an old ram. It just can't be easy. Four rams just underneath that far peak. I'm only seeing one that I think is old enough. Definitely old enough, full curl. They're all bedded down right now. Really difficult to see. There's not much we can do except sit here and wait and see what they do. In the evening, they should start to feed down, which will maybe give us a chance to come over top of them and get a crack at one of them. The rain's not making it any better for us. We found 5 rams, different rams than yesterday, and there's 2 that are definitely shooters. One's really old. That's the one I'd like to go after, but for whatever reason, within 10 minutes of us finding the rams, this rain and then cloud showed up, and now we're socked in. We had a window of opportunity of a day and a half of clear weather, and now the weather's turned to crap again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's cold, yeah. That's the problem. We're going to get hypothermic sitting up here in the wind and the rain. Even if you're dry, I mean, we were sweating coming up, so as soon as you throw on your rain gear, all you're doing is sealing in the wet that was soaking your clothes before, and then now first come the little shivers, then come the big shivers, and then come the no shivers, and at that point, you better be finding somewhere warm and dry because that's the verge of hypothermia. The rain stopped and the winds died down, so now we can start to warm up a little bit. Just a little bit cold right now. I know one thing, there's no way I can shoot right now. I'm down all over the place. The rams have gone over the ridge. We've given them about an hour and they haven't appeared, so we think they're bedded on the far side. The only thing is they could have snuck around on the backside of the big mountain, or they could have gone way down. We're going to send Victor down to look up the draw, and we're going to that peak to look down on them. That's the plan. If the wind holds, and if they're still there, and the rain doesn't come, we got a chance. Freezing cold to cooking hot. That's pretty normal for hunting in the mountains for sheep and goats. The weather changes, especially this time of year. We're on top of the world. looking down on creation. Spectacular. Right now, so we're dropping our packs and we'll start to work our way closer and quieter as we can. Gotta see them first. See part of them, right? That's the one, Matt. Oh, no, Mom. Matt? Yes. You see, there's two down there beside each other. I see him. Yep. He's the one on the left. Oh man. Are you on, man? Yes. Oh, no, Mom. See, there's two down there beside each other. He's the one on the left. Not that one. Oh man, oh man. Are you on, Matt? Yes. We got him. He went straight down. That was crazy. When he finally came out and gave me a shot, there was another one right behind him. I had to wait till they cleared before I could get a shot. Look at them. Small little bodies. Finally, oh. He's really, really old. Even broomed off here, broomed off on this side, and beautiful. Small. They're small. Small. He's old, eh?
Wow.
Oh, you're kidding. This ram has one tooth. That means this ram was dying. There's no way he would make it through the coming winter. He probably wouldn't make it until winter even. That's why he's so skinny. This is exactly the kind of ram you want to take out of a sheep population. He's ancient, 10 and a half years old. This is hungry country, tough country. And his genes have already been passed on. It's incredible. to be 130 yards from such magnificent animals in such a remote place. Just the fate that brought us together with this animal from, I came 12,000 miles around the world. And he's been living here for 10 and a half years. Sergey, thank you so much. Thank you. Alex, thank you again for sharing your country, your amazing country, and the amazing hunting here. Every ounce comes out, and it is the best of all the wild game meat, wild sheep. Just so few hunters get to actually try it because it's difficult to get a wild sheep. It's difficult to get the meat from a wild sheep. We won't be wasting a single ounce of this. When I hurt my knee coming in, I was really worried that I wouldn't be able to climb the hills to do this hunt. It worked, made it up the hill. Just have a bit of an ordeal now. Going back down is actually harder than up for me. Hope is what keeps you going. The goal is what you set, is the standards you want to achieve. And depending on the degree of difficulty, the challenge, that determines how much of an accomplishment it is. I'm proud of the team because it's a huge challenge. Huge challenge.
Previously on Jim Shockey's Uncharted.
It's hard to find anything so serene as a sheep camp up in a high hanging valley. I did something to my knee. Just to touch it is excruciating pain. So far my knee is holding out. I've got it taped up pretty tight. I was really worried that I wouldn't be able to climb the hills to do this hunt. Oh, he's a beauty. Sergey, thank you so much. How many hunters get to get into these remote places and hunt wild sheep? This is the last leg back to our base camp. The Ohotsk Mountains here have been spectacular. We got a great ram. Now we're off to Yakutia. Siberia, big country. This is wild, wild country. We're on our own.
Yakutia. We've landed in a beautiful valley, and the mountains are really steep and rugged. It's gonna be tough hiking in this rocky stuff covered with this underbrush. This is truly uncharted country here in Yakutia. Nobody's been here before.
We're going to make a soup made of snowshoe brisket. Making a broth consisted of big parts of meat with onion, potatoes, everything. Should be tasty.
Just spending a few minutes of daylight glassing down the valley trying to spot any sheep. I'm not seeing any sheep trails across the faces. I don't know. But we'll know tomorrow. Right now, more important, we've got dinner coming up. Looks like we've got the Russian staples, cucumbers, tomatoes, and bread. I'm actually staying out of the cooking. That's these gentlemen are far better at it than I am. And they're doing it their way. The sheep is being done their way, so I'm just along for the ride tonight. This is a treat.
Snowshoe brisket, onion, spices, water, and that's it.
It's really good, Alex.
That's a traditional Siberian hunting soup.
It's so simple, but it's so beautifully, I don't know, natural. Like it's not like haute cuisine or sauces all over. It's just the way meat should be eaten. Probably has been eaten for thousands of years. Huh. I mean, look at this. Look at this. We're surrounded by nature. In all its splendor, we're surrounded by it. It just makes everything smell better, taste better, you feel better. Yeah, it's God's perfect creation. Before we head into the back end of this valley, we're just doing a quick check at this end because the sheep could be here. I mean, if they are, you don't want to spend the whole day at the wrong end of the valley. This sheep is possibly the most difficult of all the snow sheep to find. Just lives in such a vast area in low densities. There's a lot of them, but they're scattered, across 500 miles of mountain ranges. And it's the one that they know the least about because it's the most expensive of the sheep here in Russia to get to. The helicopter costs are horrendous to fly out here. So there's very little data about these sheep in this area. Every hunt has its challenges. Looks like this one is the buckbrush
It's some type of a willow, not sure, but it'll soak up your energy. It's worse than walking through sludge, mud. Just drags on you and you have to fight every step of the way. We made it through the buckbrush. Now we're more or less in the alpine or rock pine. The sheep can be anywhere from here on in, around the corners. There's a million of these little drainages. They can be tucked away on one side or the other side. I just haven't seen any sign. If these sheep are back in this canyon, they have to be going back and forth across to each side, and they have to be feeding in the bottom at some point. I'm not seeing any sheep scat, no footprints, nothing. This is the back end of the canyon. It actually looks pretty good, but I'm still not seeing any sign. You hope when you climb back up in here, you end up finding Shangri-La. Sheep Shangri-La. But I think it's sheepless Shangri-La. We'll find out, though. We're going to start glassing now. Come on, sheep. Hope, despair, hope, despair. Now hope. Hope, despair, hope, despair. Now hope. We just spotted a young ram way up on the ridgeline. It's very unusual for sheep to be on its own. They're herding animals, very gregarious, so it doesn't make a lot of sense that he's by himself in this back end. But he's the only one that's come out on the ridge to look at us, and he's spooked. He saw us coming up. And he's safe as a baby where he is there, and we can't move. But there's one, so there's hope. No more despair. Now it's eyeballs on alert. Oh yeah. What a place for a picnic. We've set this goal to get a Yakutiya of sheep. We're so goal-oriented in our world these days. We have to do this, we have to accomplish this, we have to get this, we have to make that. You can set the goal, but the sheep decide. We don't decide. So there's lots of downtime, time to meditate, time to just center and balance yourself. And enjoy the view, enjoy the simplest of meals. We waited here all afternoon, sun's down behind the mountain now, and nothing came over the ridges anywhere. It's kind of what I figured. There just isn't a lot of sign. I don't think the sheep are using this valley, this canyon. If they do, it's just passing through like that young one. They're not hanging out here, so we've got to make some hard decisions when we get back to main camp, or to our base camp, and that's, do we stay in this valley and hope something shows up? Or do we call a helicopter and get into another part of this mountain range? First things first,
We have to get all the way back down to base camp. That's about a 10-mile hike down this valley. I'm gonna be tired when we get back. It seems when you're doing these expeditions into these kind of remote places that it's a sliding array of challenges. Some might say worries, because during our hike back to camp, the weather's starting to come in again. If it's not one challenge, it's another. If it's not one worry, it's about 100 others. We actually saw him back here. Where was the other camp exactly here?
Somewhere here.
Okay. I got it. Perfect. Thank you. That's good. Came back to camp last night. Big surprise. The helicopter brought 2 more Russian guides in. Apparently, they were scouting an area 20 miles that way. So we're going to set up a spike camp on the end of this mountain. One's got, looks like AK-47 of some description. I don't know my guns that well, but the other one I do recognize is over and under shotgun. So there must be bears around too, that's why they're carrying. This entire mountain is a jumble of boulders. You have to watch every single step, pay attention. And I just don't think this is what the sheep are in. I don't know. Maybe there's some flatter spots. We just got to keep going and we'll know at the end of the day. Sheep trails, but they're down low, right down in that pine stuff. I wonder if the rams are actually bedding down in the pines. Our thin horns in North America will do that. They'll go right down into the trees actually, and our bighorns as well. And that makes them about 1,000,000 times tougher to hunt. But the trails are down there, and that sheep made those trails, so they were there at one time. I don't know if they're still there or not, but it would explain why we're not seeing any. Everest walk. You can climb Everest at this speed. Slowly, slowly, one step at a time. Our beautiful, clear robin's egg blue skies have been replaced with big, ugly, nasty storm clouds. It's not like it's a big low pressure over us, but I have a feeling we're gonna get hit by some kind of a rain shower. Probably can actually use a shower about now. That's it for today. But it's been a lot of days hiking in and out of these drainages, these canyons. And today was a particularly tough one. We didn't see a single thing, not a single boron, not a single sheep. This hunt is a 10 out of 10 challenge. This pushes our physical, pushes the mental. It pushes our skills to the limit. That's a perfect hunt. We'll sleep in this spot, and then tomorrow we'll try again. We'll do the same thing tomorrow night, and we'll try again the day after, and the day after that, and the day after that. If it takes 40 days, we're going to keep going. This is the perfect hunt. It rained all night long, thunder, lightning poured down, and right now the mountain tops are all fogged in, and there's a heavy drizzle that switches to rain every 5-10 minutes. This part of the hunt is officially over because we can't see anything. All we can do now is break down camp and try and get back to base camp. The rocks are going to be super slippery. All that caribou moss will now be slick. We'll have to be super careful.
It's my favorite conditions to shoot in. My favorite.
The camera's, Matt's whining. There's nothing worse for morale than when the cameraman starts whining that his expensive camera is going to get wrecked. I mean, who cares? $40,000 camera gets a little clean up and wash. I mean, we can all use that, including his camera. Actually, Matt hasn't been whining. He's been a trooper. His pack weighs about 3 times heavier than everybody else's.
The weather broke finally, and our plan is to go to the back end of the valley, go right over the top. There's another camp, 20 miles, something like that, but we're just going to keep going until we find sheep. This was a bad enough boulder field on the way up when it was dry, but now going down, the green lichen or moss, whatever is on those rocks, it's just snot, and every step is potential to wipe out, and because they're such big boulders, your foot can go right down into one of these crevices. I mean, they go down 2-3 feet, and if your momentum's that way, yeah, it's just yeah. This is called focus. Every single step, focus. You just don't take a step without having a third point. Well, I don't. These guys, the Russian guys, I mean, one guy's got running shoes on. Incredible. Sign here than any place, like 10 times more sign. And right in the spot we're sitting right now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheep beds. At some time of the year, the sheep are here. Beds and the trails are everywhere. So we're in the right place. It's a matter of spending enough time and being able to see and cover enough country. Spotted a group of sheep up top. A bear has been here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sheep, but only 2 rams, and they're young. One's probably 2.5, and one might be 4.5, maybe 5.5 at the most. Yeah. Oh, darn it. I mean, great. We just saw more rams than we've seen the entire trip. That's good, but that's not the band of bachelor rams that we're hoping to find. If hunting was just about meat, then we would go shoot that ram. He's a ram, he's legal, and he's meat. And that's a bit of a trap when we, as hunters, get into the, I hunt because I eat the meat and that's the only reason I hunt. That's not true.
That's not true. We hunt to conserve the wildlife, and that means that ram has to be left. He has to be left to attain his potential, to grow to an age that he can become a breeding ram and pass on his genes. And to shoot him at a young age, even though he would be tasty and be great meat, that's not what hunting's about. Particularly when you're hunting in places that are like this, remote areas, hunting becomes selective because you want to conserve the species and you want a ram that's beyond breeding age. And get one or not get one, I'll be happy. We succeeded in our hunt. You know, the hunt was anticipation, preparation, the journey to the place, and then there's the effort it takes to get here to see the sheep. And people will look at that and say, yeah, you're a trophy hunter, and that's despicable. But they don't understand that it's not about the trophy, it's about the process, it's about the journey, and it's about conservation, and it's about being selective. That's a hunter's waterfall, a hunter's place. Only hunters have ever seen this, if any hunters have even been here. It's magic. If we could bring this to the city, to all the people that don't hunt, and show them, they would want to hunt. They would try to hunt. They would begin to understand, this is why we hunt, right here, this. Nobody sees this. There's not a tourist anywhere around. It's just us. We got to our second base camp. A bear's been here. It's a Siberian brown bear. That's what lives in this area, and it's destroyed the tent. Both ends of it, actually, the sides, the tarp's gone, and scattered the food everywhere. It's eaten a lot of the food. There's still some left. Now with the mess here, we're gonna have to clean this all up and gather it all up and put this camp back together again. So we'll be staying here tonight, and the worry, of course, is that the bears could come back. It won't be a soft target this time if he comes back tonight. Six, 7, 8, 9. It's time to get up. The bear ripped the hole. He didn't come back in the night, which is good, but his handiwork is causing us to lose sleep. We're started for the day. A glorious day it's going to be. I have hopes today, high hopes for whatever reason, Hunter's Day. Right now we're gonna head up this drainage and over this high ridge. Maybe along the top of the ridge, but I think we'll probably go over on the backside to the valley there. Has to be a valley there, has to be sheep.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 12. A group of 12 Yakutia sheep feeding right towards us. There's about 3 young rams in there that are very young, but no old rams. The old rams have to be somewhere around, but we're just not finding them. But this area just seems more sheepy. It's got the shale as opposed to those big, nasty boulders we've been fighting around the other side of the mountain. Alex? Yeah. It's fantastic, eh?
Last one, eh?
It's really good. This is why we hunt. To share time in the wilderness with God's most amazing creatures in some of God's most amazing places. You know, it's not about the record book and number of inches and where it scores and egos. To challenge yourself, set goals that are very difficult to attain, that's part of it. But the biggest part of hunting is right now, is this moment. When the air is fresh, crisp, you know that winter's just to the north. And you've got the smell of the herbs and the mountain birch, the pines. That's in the air that you're breathing. There's no exhaust. I mean, there's no phones, there's no airplanes, there's no cars honking, no red lights, green lights, traffic jams, televisions, cell phones. There's none of that. It's all gone. It's all gone. And we're here with these sheep, these wild Yakutia sheep. And that's what hunting's about. That's what hunting's about. Everything else is a factor in the hunt, but it's not what determines success. This is our cathedral.
This is our last kick at the can, really. We're headed this way. We haven't been that direction. It's the last out of 12 directions we can go out of 3 different camps. And if there's no ram that direction, then we start redoing everything, I guess, and work our way all the way back to the first camp. Just spotted a group of 9 females and young ones. There may be more that could be over the ridge, but that's great news. That gives us another shot of hope. We've come all the way over the ridge and down into the bottom of the valley, and they're up on top of the ridge on the backside of the mountain. Fantastic. They're beautiful, but no rams, none that are old enough. Probably more over the ridge. I have no idea, but we've for sure climbed Everest a couple of times and walked from San Francisco to Seattle, I'd say. Now we just have to find the rams. We got to keep looking. We can't give up hope. We can't quit. We have to keep going. One jewel of energy at a time. We have to keep going. They're coming fast. We must have looked at 1,000 square miles now. Thing is, because there's so many folds and dips and doodles, you can look at it and think that you've seen everything, but 50% of what you're looking at, you can't actually see. You think you can, but you can't. So that's why you move and look at a different angle, look at a different angle. But I mean, we've been moving and looking at different angles for the last, 10 days now. Sergey has just spotted a single ram way up high in the rocks, almost impossible to see, but it is the biggest ram, oldest ram we've seen. And it's just about in an impossible place. I don't know how we'd get to it, go down and somehow. But the thing is, it's a ram. It's bedded now in a green patch, so we're apparently going to try to go over top of it. I mean, this is going to be a serious bit of mountaineering, I think, to get there. And then to get above them to be able to shoot close enough. I don't think we can shoot from the top, but it all depends what's on the backside of these ugly, nasty ridges. ENDEVR, the first American to climb all 14 8,000 meter peaks, says that getting to the top is optional, getting down safely is mandatory, and it's the same thing for hunting. I mean, the objective dangers right here are pretty significant, but we're, judging them, our experience, and we're making the call to go. But this whole mountain is ready to come down. It's all fresh slides below us. Just have to get through it sooner than later. We think this has to be it right here, but we're not sure. So, just in case, we'll be ready. We made it all the way over here, but we're too late. He's not there anymore. He was bedded. And it's just getting so late in the evening. This is when they do their walkabouts. He could be anywhere on this entire face. Now we need some hunter's luck. Sergey spotted the two rams. They're down the bottom. Now, as the sun goes down, it stops heating up the slopes. So the convection currents don't go up, they start going down as it cools down, which they're doing right now. Boy, we just can't seem to win for losing. See him? Yep. Good. Okay. There. Okay, that was the first one. The second one's going to be behind you. There it is, the big one. They're coming fast. Ready, Matt? Good. Okay.
This is the first one. The second one's going to be behind you. They're coming fast. Ready, Matt? I was right on him. I'm dead on him. So the gun's off. After all that, the gun's off. My gun's off. All the beating around for the last 3 weeks, I was dead on him. 230 yards. A chip shot. Can't explain it. We just watched the footage, and my shot hit 10 feet high. It's my fault. I just figured out what I did. I'm missing the top dial. When they were at 500 meters, I cranked it the right way to get to 500 meters, but it was they were walking away and it's too far. Because I don't have the dial, I set it back. I continued to put it all the way around a full cycle. I didn't put it back to 0, I put it back to 900 yards. I did it myself. It's not the gun. I did it myself. I had to turn it back this way, not this way. And there's no numbers, no dials. You gotta be kidding me. Operator error. Human error. Human error.
Previously on Jim Shockey's Uncharted.
Yakutia. The mountains are really steep and rugged.
We're in the right place. It's a matter of being able to cover enough country.
We got to our base camp, and a bear's been here, and it's destroyed the tent and scattered the food everywhere. It's no good anymore. Sergey has just spotted a ram.
They're coming fast. I'm dead on them. I'm missing the top dial. When they were at 500 meters, I continued to put it all the way around at full cycle. I did it myself. It's not the gun. I did it myself.
August 26th. We got a couple inches of fresh snow on the ground. Definitely the earliest winter I've ever experienced. And I'm from Minnesota, so that's saying a lot actually. Morning. Been on some long trips with Jim, but this is the longest that I've ever hunted for any one animal by far. But yeah, it's a down day for us just because we can't see up in the mountains. I guarantee if we could see, wouldn't matter if it was snowing or not. If we could see up high in the mountains, Jim would be out there hunting. Whether the guys wanted to go or not, he'd go on his own. It wouldn't really matter. If there's any opportunity to hunt, he's gonna hunt. That's for sure.
It's really cold. Winter's showing up, and we can't go anywhere today. It's fogged right in all around us. I think this will probably burn off. There's lots of blue patches, so I think the sun will burn most of this off. Might be too late to go hunting today, but tomorrow. And right now, after the last 7 straight days of hiking, we can use the rest for a day anyway. If you can't see, you can't hunt, so we'll call it meditation for the day. I've got a quote that seems to apply. It's from The Tiger, A True Story of Vengeance and Survival by John Valiant. Quote, "The most terrifying and important test for a human being is to be in absolute isolation. A human being is a very social creature. 90% of what we do is done because other people are watching. When you're alone, there are no witnesses. So a man starts to learn about himself. Sometimes this brings staggering discoveries because nobody's watching you, so you can easily become an animal. You have to have something, some force, which allows and helps you to survive without witnesses. Once you have passed the solitude test, you have absolute confidence in yourself, and there is nothing that can break you afterward, because you know that you can do it yourself." Awesome quote. I may want to revisit that whole no witnesses part of it. We may be in absolute isolation here, but I suspect there's witnesses to my slovenliness. in the tent. Couldn't do anything. And this morning, finally, it broke. The weather broke. It's cleared off. There was actually snow right down at our base camp level here this morning, but it's melted off now. And there's blue skies. So there's hope. You can feel hope in the air. Maybe a quarter of the way into the back end of this valley. I haven't seen anything yet. These sheep are really playing their part. They're prey, so they have the anywhere but right here rule on their side. So that means they can be anywhere out here except right here. And as predators, we don't have that luxury. We have to be exactly where they are. So they've got the whole mountain range to hide in, and we've got right here to try and get one while they're not here. It's a big mountain range. That's finally some sheep sign that's relatively fresh. That's not ewes and lambs, that's a ram. Where is he? That's hope. That's hope. A lot more sheep sign up here. That's a good thing. On these little patches of grass. It means if they're not staying in our main valley, they could be staying over the ridge on the other side. And that's always the hope, right? The hope. And the hope is what keeps you going. We're all in at this point, because once we climb over this, there's no getting back. It means that we're not going back to our main camp tonight. No matter what, we're staying out. Darn it. There's nothing, not one sheep. All the hope on the climb up, that's what motivates you to get going, to keep going till you can look over that next ridge and no sheep. There's sign, the sheep have been here. They have been here at one time. They're just not here now, unless they're tucked away in some little recess that
that we can't see from here, but we can see a lot of country here. Time to gear up and head down. That's as far as we're going today. We probably came 2 miles down the valley, and we can see another 6 miles this way. But this is camp for the night. And the sun's going behind the mountains, and it won't be long. It's going to be dark, so we'll start it all over again in the morning, heading down the valley. You just have to put time in, and the more miles you cover, the more country you can see, the higher your odds of bumping into a ram. Oh, darn it, it's disappointing though. I thought for sure we'd have one when we came over that ridge. So we'll just keep going, have a good night's sleep, and wake up with hope again.
Yesterday was a hunter's day, and we ran out of hiking light essentially yesterday, and now it's pouring rain, and the problem is, it seems like this hunt, all I'm doing is talking about problems, but the problem is we've got only food for today. We're trapped on this mountain, not knowing if we can get back this way. If we have to backtrack our own trail, we have to go up that miserable mountain that we came down with the big boulders, and that was dangerous enough going in good weather. In bad weather, with rain, wet rocks, that'd be too dangerous. The only thing we can do is sit here and wait for the good weather to show up again. The Russians are counting on max 48 hours, but they have no idea. Nobody does. It could be, we could get 7 days of this. If we're hemmed in at base camp, that's one thing. We can dry off. We've got wood stoves. Hemmed in out in these high alpine areas with 1 day of food, not quite so good. Not quite so good. It looks like the weather's good, so we do have things to be thankful for. But we're pretty much out of food. So at this point now, we're not only hunting for the Yakutia sheep, we're hunting for caribou and also for Medvig bear. Either one will give us enough meat that we can stay out here, but we have today, I think we'll have today to search. No rams in this basin. If we head down around the right, then we're heading back to our original base camp, and that'll be a 25-mile hike probably around the end of the mountains. And then we can hunt all the way back to the base camp. That's my thought. Time to pack up now and start hiking. This crap is horrible. The rocks, as I'm looking underneath, are just big empty spaces. And I haven't stood on a rock that's solid just about the whole time. Just gotta be careful every step. Whoa, son of a gun.
every single step. It's not like you're gonna fall to your death, but if one of these, 600-700 pound boulders lets loose because it's on a fulcrum and you don't know it, and you catch your foot underneath it, you're just as deep a trouble as if you fell off Everest. It hones the edge of your self-reliance, and that's a little bit of something we're missing in today's society.
I love being out here. This is an awesome trip, but this right here is ridiculous. Not fun at all. I do a lot of so-called extreme sports, skateboarding, rock climbing, skiing. Those are some of my favorites. But none of those do I even consider close to as dangerous as this, really. I mean, look at this, watch. So, here's my view. This right here looks like a perfectly good rock to step on. At least to me it did. Watch this. Nope. Not at all. That's like every one of these rocks the whole way. It's like that. It's a big boulder, a couple 100 pounds. You think you can step on it, and it just goes right under from underneath you.
Medvig. I just spotted a bear, a Medvig, Siberian brown bear. We've been out here 22 days. We're almost out of food. We need the meat, so we're going after it. Medvig. Just spotted a bear, a Medvig, Siberian brown bear. We've been out here 22 days. We're almost out of food. We need the meat, so we're going after it. Yeah, you stay here. On the hill by itself. You see it there? Slowly. It could be down in the pines. Watch, it could be anywhere in here. Okay, we've got meat now. We can keep hunting. Holy. A second bear came right out. There's tons of berries through here. And they're also eating the pine cones. Here comes the guys. We have food. Thank you. Thank you so much.
С полем вас.
Alexi, thank you. Look at they're actually eating pine cones.
Шишки.
This is what they're eating. This is what we're down to, is eating the pine nuts. This bear is going to taste a lot better than 8 million pine cones. Fantastic. Look at that. It's a really big boar. An old boar. Look at that. Look at his ear. This big boar's got his ear is all torn up. That's all fighting. Look at the scars here too. Look at that. That's crazy. This is a giant old male. Huge pads on him. Look at his claws. Look at the size of his feet. This is a mountain bear. Holy. Look at the size of his teeth. Ancient old boar. Wow. This is what they're eating. This is what the guys are eating. That's what we would have been down to eating this if we didn't get the bear. That's the pine nuts. So you take off the husk and you're left with the little nuts, and then you crack those nuts. You can see the white inside. And that's what the bears are eating. He's gonna be we're gonna eat like kings.
Да, вообще
Like kings. So no, нет pine cones. Нет pine cones.
Особенно деликатес.
Yeah, delicacy.
Delicate.
There's a
Soup.
pause for soup. We got meat. That was our number one goal at this point, because we're 22 days out here with no food left, and we'd had to call the helicopter. We were counting on getting a sheep, but we haven't got one yet. So it was going to be over. We were done unless we got meat, and we just got meat. I mean, we got a lot of it, but that's okay. All of this meat will be used from this bear. You know, we can keep the meat for a good week. It's cool enough in the evenings, probably even 10 days. So we have time now. We can keep hunting, keep hunting. Thank you, bear. Thank you. Thank you. This is a good day. It's a hunter's day. I didn't think it was, but it is a hunter's day. People ask, why do you come out to these wild places to hunt? And there's an old Russian proverb that says you can feed a wolf in civilization, but it will always look to the mountains, to the wildlands. And that's the same with hunters. You can feed us pork and beef and chicken in the cities, and our eyes will always be looking to the forest, to the mountains, to the wilderness. This is where we're at home. It's official now, personal record. This is the longest that I've hunted for any mountain animal. We're 23 days now, and that actually ties my record for polar bear, personal record. 23 days, the first time I hunted polar bear, I never got one. But as of tomorrow, it'll be 24 days, and that's longer than I've hunted any animal in a row, specifically for one given animal. We have meat now, we have the bear,
So we're good. We're going to be a little tired of bear meat, I guarantee, by the end of this hunt, no matter how many more days it takes. No matter how many more days it takes. The best weather we've had in over 20 days, and you can just feel in the air the guys are a little more excited. I know I am for sure, and looking forward to the day. Hopefully we'll be bringing back a ram. We're in a new valley. It looks like it's 10, 15 miles long at least. So, fingers crossed. Every step puts us hopefully closer. We've found some sort of an alpine paradise. Big, wide open flats in the middle of all these craggy peaks. Whatever the end happens to be, whether it's ending without a sheep or not, look what we get to see. The only people that would ever see this place are hunters. This is a hunter's paradise. I claim it on behalf of all hunters. I wish I had a flag. It's spectacular. Beautiful. Sergey spotted something. That's a whole bunch of females.
Female?
I think so. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yakutia sheep, 4 of them, so close. They're so pretty. And that truly may be the success of our hunt, right there. This could be the pinnacle. There has to be rams around here, but we're just not finding them. No, we just keep going. Has to be rams, has to be the male somewhere. We hiked up to the top of this mountain ridge now, and I set the scope up literally one spot and looked in the back, and 2 rams are there. Now we're, as a crow flies, probably 3 miles from where they were, and they've had to go a long way to get there. But, you know, us coming up this ridge and looking back into that valley, there they are. One's bedded, the smaller one, and the old ram is feeding. We hiked up to the top of this mountain ridge now, and I set the scope up literally one spot and looked in the back,
and 2 rams are there. Now we're, as a crow flies, probably 3 miles from where they were, and they've had to go a long way to get there. But, you know, us coming up this ridge and looking back into that valley, there they are. One's bedded, the smaller one, and the old ram is feeding. Now it's up to us to not make any mistakes and get in there and get that ram.
У меня все то же самое, только я был там.
We can't go over the top to get above them. It's too craggy and too nasty. I mean, it was bad enough yesterday. This is way worse. And we can't go down and up that mountain because that's also too craggy. And even if we get above them, we're still too high to shoot. And if we start coming down, they'll hear us for sure. But we have to get closer.
Вот здесь вот пройти. Вот видишь, вот это выемка.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
Вот так вот сейчас чик, пройти, спуститься вон к тем камням.
Down there.
Туда.
If they go and the wind changes this way, then we come down or over.
Да. И
Yeah.
если что,
Yeah, yeah. If they come this way, if they go this way, at least, okay.
только такой вариант.
Yeah. Sergey made the call. We're going after these rams.
Good luck.
Thank you. The weather's starting to close in, so the convection currents aren't going to be a factor anymore. And with the weather coming in, hopefully that'll bring the wind down the canyon as opposed to up towards the rams. We've made it across one ridge. This is the second ridge. From here, we should be able to see them. The wind that's been in our face is coming up this canyon right now. Whether the sheep are still there or where they are, I mean, they're somewhere, but gotta get them in sight sooner than later. We've made it to where they were, but now it's all in fog. It's like, here you go, take it away. So we don't know where they are. We're gonna have to go up the valley and see, but it's really not looking good for us right now. There's 2 sitting there. There's 430 yards right there. Too much fog. They're still there. Just do right. I see him. There's 16, 19, so 3 back. Which one? The dark. The one in front, man. There you are. See him, man? Which one? The dark. The one in front, man. There you are. See him, man?
Есть контакт.
We got him.
Ребят, мы это сделали!
Finally. Yakutia Rams. We did it. After all this, holy smokes. 28 days.
Джим, поздравляю!
Thank you so much.
Поздравляю!
Thank you.
Happy end!
Yeah, happy end.
Happy end!
Look at this. It's absolutely beautiful. Yakutia snow sheep. Look at him, he's beautiful. After so long, we're almost out of food. And then a total mess up. I wanted to quit. How could I turn the scope dial wrong? You know, we could call a helicopter and be done and go home after almost 4 weeks up here. But we didn't. And look what we got. Magnificent, magnificent, full curl, beautiful Yakutia snow sheep.
Поздравляю!
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Alexei. Sergey,
Congratulations!
thank you so much. And Alex,
Джим, поздравляю
Thank you.
с успешной охотой.
Прости нас, барашек.
yeah, this is beautiful. I love this world. I love this life. Look what we get. It's fantastic. Fantastic. It's a hunter's sunset. And I'm serious. There isn't a single person that can see that sunset right now in this entire part of the world. There's no people. So that's a hunter sunset. And that's as far as we can get today. We were hoping to get back to base camp today, but that's pie in the sky. That's never going to happen. We're miles and miles away, probably 20 miles still, 25. We've called the helicopter. It's got to come and get us here because we can't get back to base camp. And then we'll go to base camp, shut it down, and head into a little town that's, they say, 200 kilometers away, so 150 miles, something like that. And then we'll drive down to Magadan. So we're here. We have food, we got shelter. This is where we are. We have so much to be thankful for, and we sometimes forget that. I mean, we have shelter, we have water, we have fire, and we have the most incredible food cooked on that fire. An animal that we hunted. I mean, what more is there? We got a full moon rising on this side. We watched a hunter's sunset on that side. We really have to remember the small things. Be thankful for them. Look at this. Sheep liver, fire, and salt. So simple. And out here you appreciate those simple things. Warmth becomes important. Shelter, camaraderie, fellow human beings, hunters. We're just people. We're all people. You know, we sometimes forget all that until you're in this situation. These are Russians. You know, I'm from North America. We're a world apart, and yet we're all the same. We're all the same when it comes down to the basics.
shelter, water, heat, and the best food. I'm not kidding, it is so good. You know, as Ziniel would say, home is where you are. This is our home. We have everything and so much to be grateful for tonight. So much to be grateful for.
Previously on Jim Shockey's Uncharted.
We can see a lot of country and there's nothing, not one sheep.
We're trapped on this mountain. It's pouring rain, and we've got only food for today. It seems like this hunt, all I'm doing is talking about problems.
Whoa. Siberian brown bear. Okay, we've got meat now. We hiked up to the top of this mountain ridge now and looked in the back, and 2 rams are there. There's 2 sitting there. Holy smokes, 28 days. Yakutia ram, we did it. We've called the helicopter and we'll go to base camp, shut it down, and head into Magadan. Just landed in the Soviet-era village of Tien Shan. We'll be taking the highway to Magadan. It's apparently 10 hours. And then from there to the Kalama sheep area. Everybody's pretty tired.
We got the awesome jams going. I don't know if you can hear it, but God, I love techno. Just love it. I guess there's some humans alive still. Yeah, Cody's asleep. From what I can understand, we're waking up at 8 a.m. It's currently 3 in the morning, waking up at 8.
We drove, I don't know, 6-8 hours.
Didn't sleep in the 8-hour car ride on the way here to Magadan. I'm exhausted.
For some reason, they're sleeping. I enjoyed the ride. Nobody wants to keep going.
Just had my first shower in 36 days.
My first shower in the last, well, since...
And let me tell you, that was a glorious experience, beyond words, amazing.
The 27th of July, and it's now September.
You should try it sometime, go that long without one, but I don't think your employer will like it very much or accept it like mine would.
I didn't smell badly at all. Matt, however, I was pretty happy that he got a chance to have a shower. So we made it. Beautiful.
Yes.
Hey, Alexei.
I'm ready.
Good to see- And Sergey, good to see you. You had a good sleep and a good shower.
Sasha.
How you doing, Alexei? Good to see you. Good to see you. We just got a satellite call that the weather's bad where we're going, so there's no way you can get there by helicopter, maybe not by boat, we don't know, but we're gonna try because things change over the course of a day. But we do know we've got a long way to go, 200 miles, and into the unknown. The one thing we are sure about though, and that's the weather forecasters have told us that there's a typhoon coming in 2 days. So everything we do, it's like an obstacle. But that's what heading into uncharted country is. Either a military or a police helicopter. We're being checked out. You know, this area was one of the major ports for the Soviet fleet back in the Cold War days. So 30 years ago, there's no way we could be in here. Not possible. Off limits to Westerners. Even now, I mean, they're still keeping a very close track on what's going on around the Sea of Hopes. Actually looking for column of sheep now. This is where the fishermen have said they've seen them all along the coastline from here on north. We're running out of light. We've got to get to where we're going to be camping tonight. You can see camp, they've got a generator going and a light. But the problem is it's low tide. Water right now is about 4.5 feet deep. This is a big boat with a fairly deep draft, so we're having to carefully just ease our way in because you don't want to jam this sucker on a sandbank or you'll never get it off, at least not until the tide comes back up, middle of the night maybe. You can feel the tension. We've come a long way, and that camp is important to us. We're cold. Everyone's tired.
Так, куда бегаем? Вперед?
Deep water is usually by the deep bank. We cut a little bit tight to the low side and just got caught on the gravel bar. We need the boat for hunting. There's nothing we can do without this boat. Slowly starting to slide across the gravel. Swinging around on the anchor chain. They've got it pulled into shore. So. We're free of the gravel bar and working our way almost at camp now. Look how fancy the camp is. What a camp this is. It's really fancy. They use it in the spring for bear hunters. They come from all over the world to hunt Kamchatka brown bears in this area. Here's some of the bears, look at these. Well, we're here in the fall, we're not here in the spring. This is a bit of an experiment. Great thing is, this is a beautiful base camp. We'll be spiking out from here, no doubt. Tomorrow we'll start hunting if the weather holds up. Now we'll get organized, get our gear ready, and then come in for dinner. You guys are gassing up the boat, getting ready for the day, but it's a windy day. Bad and good. We can't get around any points, but the sheep should be down over those edges along the cliffs. The wind is foreshadowing for this typhoon that's supposed to be here tomorrow. We're going hunting for Kalama snow sheep after all the major effort to get here. We got trapped by the tide this morning. We couldn't get the boat out. Now the tide's come up enough that we can start to head out. There's a Kamchatka brown bear right here, right on the shore. This is a really, really different kind of a hunt. I mean, you're on the raw edge of the ocean on this side and then wild land on the other side. I mean, it's really cool because you can cover a lot of country with the boat and see into a lot of these little nooks and crannies and crevices that if you were hiking, I mean, it would take us all day to get from there to there. We can cover that with the boat in a short amount of time. If we spot them, we still have to figure out a way to get off on shore. And it looks like there's some of these drainages are actually low enough that we could climb up either side and maybe come in from above them, depending on where we see the sheep, how far from one of these drainages. Two more over there. There's two young males, like a year and a half old, and 2 full-grown females and a baby. 230 yards away, right there on the cliffs. That's spectacular. I mean, they're 100 feet above sea level. They're going to work their way along the ridge and bed. I'm thinking on some promontory up top, so they can keep their eyes watching for bears coming from behind them and anything coming up the slope at them from the bottom. We're going to backpack. Looking at the faces is fun, and we have seen one big round, one little ram, and we want to know what's inland, so we're going to backpack. We've got our gear, tents, weather's coming in. We think we'll get up there tonight, make a camp tent set up, and be able to hunt tomorrow morning, then have to get down because the typhoon's coming tomorrow evening. Look at this. This is bear trails so deep over the centuries that their footprints are actually down 6 inches into the soil. You can see each one of their steps. Wow. That's a lot of bears. Keeping my gun handy, and Alexi's carrying a shotgun. Just have to be careful. Good thing is we can see a long way. They won't surprise us. We've got to be getting close to sheep elevation now. We made it to the saddle between the mountains. The clouds are coming in that way.
Made it up to our camp spot for the night, and we got a typhoon coming in. My fingers are crossed that we have luck on our side. I'm definitely ready to go home and be a father again and a husband. But here we are.
We've been fogged in most of the morning. We're going to try and climb to see if we can see anything on the lee side of these hills, and then get back before the typhoon proper hits. Got to the top, had it clear for 30 seconds, and now it's fogged in. This is a Russian typhoon, bring it on. We can handle this. I think I'm probably just tempting the Russian gods by saying that. I was just kidding, Russian gods, just kidding. The sheep are going to be out in the open today. It's too ugly, too nasty. They're going to be tucked away into little dark recesses. It'll be very, very difficult to see them from here, from anywhere. We need the weather to give us a break. Tried to get up on top of the mountain, and I kind of challenged the Russian gods and got hammered. The wind came in, the rains. It looks like the typhoon's here. We just got a satellite phone call out, and they said it's here. It's like we're not on the edge of it. We're going to be dead square in the middle of it. This is the front edge of it. For sure, right now we have to pack up and get out of here as quick as we can while there's still enough light to get down off the mountain and get back to base camp in the boat. I wouldn't call it a running away. I'd call it a controlled retreat. So mountains 1, hunters 0. Typhoon has definitely arrived. We're in the cabin. It sounds like it's going to be torn apart any second. Thank goodness we made it down to the base camp. I don't think we'd be doing very well if we stayed up on the mountain in those little tents. There wouldn't be anything left of them. They'd be shredded by now. The power of nature is a wondrous thing. We're not going anywhere today. The typhoon's got us solid. It was all night long hammering. The siding's been ripped off the cabin.
I'd say the typhoon's in full effect right now. Probably sustained 40-mile-an-hour winds with gusts up to 70+ miles an hour. One thing that does concern me a little bit is I heard Jim saying that we might end up extending this 51-day trip to Russia if we don't get a ram here.
Russian citizenship pretty quick here.
Day 3 of the typhoon. It's not as windy today, but the rain is just relentless. Coming down really, really heavy all day long so far. The rain slowed up for just a little bit here. I'm sure it's not gonna last long, so I'm gonna take this time and show you what Jim's been up to for the last 2 days. If that doesn't look like a serial killer burying his murder victim, then I don't know what does. That's just straight out of a movie right there. Look at him. How's it going, Jim?
Hey, we've got 2 days. We've been doing nothing, and the guys are keeping themselves busy around camp. But they started to make a new latrine. They use big double ones, and as they dug the first shovelfuls, they called me over. It's an old midden, meaning that at some point in the past there was people living here, and this was their garbage dump, basically. It's amazing. This is Stone Age people that lived here. Here, come on over here. I'll show you some of the things I've dug up so far. I got these ones washed off. These are spear points. That's a harpoon point. Harpoon point, that's a comb. These are bone implements. This is probably for scooping out marrow out of bones. This is obviously for killing something. There's pottery shards, and you can see the markings on them. You can see they've been in the fire and they've broken up, obviously. Very thin. Don't think that they made these themselves here. They could have, but I think more likely they traded up and down the Okhotsk Sea. They're obviously a whaling culture. Here's a whale vertebrae that I found just literally below the surface. Here's some more of the bones. These are wild caribou ribs and pieces of antler as well. I see the remains of whales and seals, seabirds, and some caribou, but I don't see any sheep in this midden at all. I'm sure those people way back then were just too smart to go chasing after these sheep. Probably something I should learn from that. Waves are too big. As soon as we start coming out of the bay, it's just tearing this boat up. This is a 33-foot boat. Getting closer to shore now, where hopefully we'll be in the leeward side of the wind. Close to shore, but then you had the reflected, rebounding waves. And it was too choppy. We couldn't even get the little boat off the top in the wind and get it into the water. It would have turned into a kite. There's lenticular clouds in the sky, which means we've got 100-mile-an-hour winds just above the mountains. And when they catch the tops of the mountains, it would be brutal anyway. So we failed. Maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow, we've got plans to get up at 5 a.m. and try again. We have to get up the mountain somehow.
2 days. 2 days left. See what happens tomorrow. Time for bed now. This is it. This is the last chance. Where we're heading into the mountains is all fogged and clouded in right now. Need some hunter's luck. It's just as windy as when we got blown off. It's foggy over this way, but it's not quite as foggy this way. But we're gonna try and get out for a look-see scout this afternoon. We totally just bumped into a huge Kamchatka brown bear while we were looking for sheep. He pegged us, and that can go either way out here. He didn't think about eating us, which is nice. But that it can happen that quick. You just have to be ready. We were just far enough away and at a distance where he felt he'd better off leaving than fighting. Too easy. It's your husband. I know we didn't get a ram again. So that's it. That's the go, no-go point. I have to make a decision, have to make a call on it, whether we're staying longer or whether we're coming home. I want to come home. Matt wants to come home, but we didn't find the ram yet. Yeah, I miss you too. Tons and tons. Love you. Say, give my love to Brad and Eva and my mummy.
$4 a.m. on our last scheduled day. It's been the toughest trip I've ever been on. Beautiful day. Not a cloud really in the sky. Nicest day we probably had, but we haven't seen a single sign of any sheep since we've been here in this area. No scat, no tracks, no beds. this day is the day we go home, but that's up to Jim, and we'll find out.
This is it. We're gonna have to leave in the best weather, the only weather we've had a chance to hunt in. Now we've still got today, and I'll make the decision tonight. I just don't wanna put Louise in that position. 31 years we've been married now, and we've always lived with absolute respect for each other. I know how hard this has been on her by herself at home all these days. I just don't want to put her in that position to have to say, yeah, no, I'll happily support you to stay longer. I don't want to do it. Just a few hours left now, and we haven't seen any sign, no sheep. Faith is always there, though. One more hill, one more hill. We still have a few hours. Let's go see. Let's go see. Four. We spotted rams last day, last minute. Helicopters on its way to get us. And they're still, I'm guessing, 3 miles away, and they're up feeding. I'm gonna try and get a hold of somebody in Magadan to hold the helicopter for as long as possible. Hey, Irina, it's Jim Shockey calling. Irina, hold the helicopter as long as you can. We've spotted rams, they're a long way away, and we're working towards them. I need time. As much as they can give us. I have to go. We're gonna try. Didn't sound really positive. So there's lots going against us. What we have going for us is we found the rams and hunter's luck. Let's go. That's the mountain. It's a straight up ramp. They're on the far end of it, down a ridge. The top of the ridge is 250 meters. I think they're probably 300 to 400 meters past that, maybe closer. It might be rounded. We can't see them till right on top of them. So it's gonna be tough shooting. This is it. They're either there or they're not. That's a big one. This way. They're going back. They're going back. We gotta get there fast. They saw me. That's a big one. This way. They're going back. They're going back. We gotta get there fast.
last minute of the last day has never been truer. Helicopter's on its way to pick us up. I didn't wait for camera because day 45, really apologize. Oh, we got him. We gotta call him a ram. We gotta call him a ram. Oh, there's the other two right here. We got him. Oh, he's gorgeous. We gotta call him a snow sheep. Last day, last minute, we got him. And he's beautiful too, thank you. We're so lucky to see them from way up there. Holy smokes, on that far mountain. We spotted them from probably 4 miles away. Thank you, Loophole, for that. We've got a lot of work to do now. We have to get them all ready, skinned out, and all the meat, and get it to a flat spot for the helicopter. Wheezy, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. And Emily and Quinn, your daddy and your husband's coming home with me. We did it. Hey, Matt. We did it.
Holy smokes.
It is a wonderful sound, let me tell you something. After 45 days out here hiking around in these crazy mountains in the far east of Russia,